I'm just trying to. So, Mary, I'm sure you're good at English, right?
Sir, I'm very nervous, you know,
You're very nervous. Why would you be nervous?
because I cannot speak English well. I'm shy, you know.
You're shy.
Sa bagay niyo ko sir. Diyos ko, sir, maulawan ko!
Hi, Tony.
Hi, Mr. J.
Hi. So, so Tony, Kyle, and Mary. So I guess I only have one Filipino student join the meeting, but I'm waiting for the others to join us, guys. So Tony, this is Mary. That's one of
Hi.
my students.
Hello.
All right, that's Tony. Mary, that's Tony, right there.
Hi, me. Hi. Hello.
Okay, so no, we'll just. I'm waiting for Siobhan. Siobhan told that she will
I'm
join us, and Carl too.
Sir G.
Mary,
Yes, sir.
just relax, okay?
Paano mag-isa, sir? Maulawan gani.
No, I would rather suggest that you would like speak in English so we could understand each other. I know you are um I hope you guys, Tony and Kyle, I hope you understand that, English in the Philippines is not our official language. So we have our own language, and speaking English is like quite challenging. You have to study for it. You have to study in speaking the language. So Siobhan is here. Let me admit Siobhan.
Try. I will try for you guys.
Okay. You should.
Oh, Diyos ko na ba?
Just relax.
Mamingwit sa ko isabi.
Yeah, get Dave and Christian, Mary, please get them.
Yes, yes.
So maybe in like few minutes from now we can start. So hi Rodel. Hi Rodel, do you hear me? You are muted, Rodel, so please unmute yourself. Hi, there you go. All right, thanks, Rodel. Hi, Siobhan.
Hi, Mr. J.
Yeah, can we see your face, Siobhan? Oh, there you go. Hi, Siobhan. Where are you?
I'm in a car.
Okay, there you go. That's Kyle, Tony. So you can see the names, right? You can see the names.
Hi, Rodel.
Hello.
So, uh, so I have two Filipino students now. We have Rodel and Mary. So Tony, Kyle, and Siobhan. That's Mary and Rodel. So pretty much, will be yeah. You can say hi to them.
Hi, everyone.
Rodel, say me, please.
Okay, Siobhan is still mute. Why are you muted, Siobhan? Can you unmute yourself? All right, there you go. I'm waiting for Carl, and I believe once we have the other two Filipino students, we can start, this meeting. And wait, let me just go ahead and text Carl. So I guess it's only Carl that we are waiting. So again, guys, let me just go ahead and give you a heads up of what is going on with this meeting. So basically, what we're trying to do here is, well, anyway, first and foremost, I would like to thank everyone for joining the meeting. And this is such a wonderful opportunity for me to gather everyone, my Filipino students back there in the Philippines, and my American students here in Arizona. So this Zoom meeting is actually for my cultural report, and that's actually for our program. This is I am under the J1, I mean the cultural exchange teacher program, and every year we are required to do a report on sharing culture. Like we have, I know I have shared some of my culture to my American students, to you, Kyle, Tony, and Siobhan. I know I have shared things to you about, my place, the Filipino food, and some other things. And now it would be nice if there will be an exchange of information sharing that will be done by from my students. So we will hear. I will just ask questions, and I will give each one of you to talk. Maybe you will just spend like uh 30 seconds or a minute to to talk or to answer if that is enough for you. But you can, anyway, you have the freedom to to answer in the time that you would like to. So based on what I have shared to you guys on the link that I have provided, what we'll be talking about today is about school activities, teachers, Navajo culture, and Filipino culture. So you will just share what it is like in America, especially here in Arizona in the reservation. And also you guys from the Philippines, Rodel and Mary, and whoever will join us later, will also share to this American students, how is it like studying in the Philippines? What are the school activities that you do? How are the teachers there? And you can also share some Filipino culture that you take pride of, like what's being nice for being a Filipino, what's good in the Philippines. I know we have been saying that it's more fun in the Philippines, and just share it to these American students here to let them know that okay, it is really nice to be in the Philippines. So just basically share some of the information that you basically would like to highlight. And also for my American students, Tony, Siobhan, Kyle, and Carl, so you can basically share also this information to them. Carl, thank you so much for joining. Welcome to the Zoom meeting. All right, that's Carl Bigman, everyone. Mary and Rodell, that's Carl.
Hi.
Alrighty. So I believe we're ready, right? So I will start with my American students here in Arizona. Kyle, Siobhan, Tony, and Carl. It will be up to you who will go first in sharing. So what do you take pride of uh, being a Navajo? What do you take pride of being a Navajo?
Being indigenous.
Yeah, being a Navajo. Yes. Do you want to start, Carl?
Yeah.
All right.
Start.
Cool. Go
By
ahead.
the way, my name is Carl Bigman, and I go to school at Red Mesa, as you may know. And I what I like, what I take pride in, is that I'm a Native American. That this land was once ours, but then again we were taken. It was taken from us, but we were here first.
All right. That's it, Carl.
Mhm.
All right. Everyone, I just muted everyone. So once someone is speaking, so we can hear. So there will be no noise. And once you wanna, it's your time to talk. So I'll go ahead and unmute you. Okay.
All right.
All right. Go ahead. And how about Tony? I'll unmute you now. So what do you take pride of being a Navajo?
Basically, our culture. I am not exactly traditional, but I try and take pride in what I do know and use it in my daily life and stuff like that. So, yeah, I just take pride in the culture and everything that comes with being a Navajo. Yeah.
And let's have Siobhan.
Mm, I'm really proud of our pride, I guess. I feel like everyone who is indigenous is very proud to be indigenous, and they're really proud to share their culture and show who they are. I just think that's really cool.
Thanks, Siobhan. And how about Kyle?
I'm proud to be Navajo because of our language as well. Our language, I'm very proud to be part of that because Navajo code talkers were used to to keep messages hidden from the enemies that would intercept messages. So we played a big role in that. So that's what I'm proud to be part of. That's why I'm proud.
So basically, I know I have learned a few things about the Navajo, things, Navajo culture, Navajo traditional way, because from my students too, just to let you know, they're Rodel and Mary in the Philippines. These students of mine, I have chosen these four, just to let you know, these four students that I have chosen, Kyle, Carl, Tony, and Siobhan. This, these are the students that close to me. I can really say that they're close to my heart, and I appreciate them as my students because they are the ones who get along with me, and I also get along with them. And they shared to me, quite a few things about their culture, their being Native Americans. And I guess it's time for you guys, Mary and Rodel, to share also what is it like to be a Filipino. What do you take pride of being a Filipino? Let's start with Mary. You can unmute yourself, Mary. Okay, there you go.
Hello.
Yeah, Mary. Yeah, now we
Okay.
hear you. Okay.
For me, sir, I am really proud of being a Filipino because um they are always smile though there are a lot of problems circumstances that they face, then they have still the courage to smile, that like there's no problem that exists.
Yeah,
That's
I
all.
know. Yeah, I know. Just to let you know, guys, Filipinos are known to be resilient people. Like, we whenever we face problems, or we encountered a lot of problems way back in our history, but Filipinos are known to be resilient people. We actually survived with a lot of from a lot of things in the past. Maybe it will be war, it will be natural calamities, it will be everything that we have undergone throughout the years of our existence as Filipinos. We've been slaves from different nationalities, but here we go, we are still standing. And just like what Mary said, yes, we are smiling people. Can you show your smile, Mary and Rodel? Okay, Rodel, I guess it's your time to share also. What do you take pride of being a Filipino? Let me unmute you, and you can unmute yourself too.
For me, being a Filipino in a context of in the school is we always carry our culture, like what you said earlier, that you have your culture always in your side when you go to school. In a Philippine context, when it comes to the school, is we always give our teachers a respect to what we call in our vernacular language. We go with mano po. And we always, like Mary Joy also said, and Mary also said that we always smile despite of all the calamities and all the challenges in the Philippines. Like we all know that there are a lot of typhoons, there are a lot of volcanoes erupting, and many more calamities. But despite of that, we always think positive towards the tomorrow. We don't give any kind of negative to our perception on reaching what our dreams as a Filipino. And also in the Philippine context, there are a lot more to explore when you are in the Philippines because this especially the the humid that we have here is different from yours, and through that we can really say that if you are here in the Philippines, you don't settle in your house or in your school. You go out after going to school or in your house.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of things to do in the Philippines. And thank you, Rodel, for that sharing. So, um, so that's how we set our mood here in this meeting. Like we first and foremost, we should take pride of who we are. We should take pride of what our roots are, where are we coming from. So, and that's how we should start in dealing with other. I mean, when we learn other cultures, we should learn first our own. We should love first our own. We should take pride first of our own culture. And I guess everyone does that. I mean, yeah, here, um, everyone here in this meeting. So now I would like to ask you guys, and I believe we'll start with the Filipinos at this time. Um, can you share something about how are the teachers in the Philippines? How are the teachers in the Philippines? You can share based on your personal experience, or you can also share based on what you have seen or what you have observed in the campus, in the school. So, Rodel, can maybe because you're the last one, maybe it's your time to do the first sharing today. In this time. So I'll go ahead and unmute you now. What can you say about the teachers in the Philippines?
Based on my experience as one of your students here in the place that in Moncayo, I can really appreciate the teachers, their courage and their patience in giving the learners a quality education and access to quality education. And also, they are the one in the Philippines. They are the one, or the teachers are the one who stand as a parents. We all know that, and they are very highly respected in the Philippines. I guess that uh, teaching profession is the highest rank among, together with the soldier and the government officials in the Philippines. They are respected a lot here in the Philippines.
Thanks, Rodel, for that sharing based on your personal experience. And Mary, what can you say about the teachers, your teachers in the Philippines?
For my own experience, sir, actually we have the same thought, the same experience with Rodel. And for me, the teacher here in Philippines, I mean here in Moncayo,
Mhm.
are really are really good, especially you, Mr. J.
No favoritism.
Yeah, we have the same thought of Rodel.
Okay. All right. So basically, we get your point about based on what Rodel has shared. So let me ask the American kids here, how how are the teachers here? They're American teachers, and they can also share maybe because they have, as you know, guys, Mary and Rodel, this we have. I mean, these kids have Filipino teachers now. Once we came here, so I guess we're seven of us, or yeah, six of us in the high school, Filipino teachers. But let us hear from them too. What can they say about their teachers? How are the teachers here in America? Their American teachers, and also us Filipino teachers that are new to their lives as a student. So maybe we can start with Siobhan. Siobhan, let me unmute you. You can unmute yourself.
Okay, I feel like American teachers are really good at implementing their own stuff into the material they're supposed to teach.
Mhm.
especially native teachers, I feel like they, for the most part, they understand what students will like and they really try to make learning enjoyable. Well, for most of the teachers I've had.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Siobhan. And how about Carl? Let me unmute you, Carl.
Hi, hi. But
Yes.
like uh, teachers. Wait, what was the question again?
Um, how are the teachers here in America? Your Native American teachers, your Filipino teachers, how are the teachers here
Is this
in,
like my personal experience from
yeah,
like
based,
all the
yeah,
teachers I've had like in my life?
yeah.
Okay, but so I've had different kinds of teachers. I've had some teachers. I went to school at a Christian school for like from kindergarten to about sixth grade. Um, Being like at that school, it was a Christian school, so I pretty much was just taught so much about the Bible and about God, and that like again with the whole culture thing. Uh, as Tony did say earlier, she likes to practice the Native American culture and our Navajo culture. But I would say like I like to practice some of the teachings and the stories that were told to me as a kid, and I incorporate that with my life. And then the teacher thing, I'm off subject, but I do appreciate both sides. But then as far as school, all the teachers in my life, um, I say the big part of the Filipino teachers at our school, I feel like they bring value to Red Mesa. They bring a part of them or your people to us. You guys are very energetic and happy. Like not to say that. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying, but uh, what I'm saying is that a part of you guys is with us, and it's just amazing how much has changed within these couple of months that you guys have been here. Dude, like with the whole COVID-19 outbreak. I
Mhm.
mean, you guys kind of brought character to our school in a way that you've changed and impact many of these students' lives. We are foreign to this whole teacher exchange, the culture exchange thing, but we are adapting to it quickly because I feel like we truly appreciate you Filipino teachers.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Carl. Appreciate that honest and sincere comment about, about us Filipino teachers, not only me, but the whole group here in Red Mesa. Thank you, Carl. All right. Now, how about Tony?
Okay, yeah. So I've had a diverse amount of teachers in my life as well. I spent my kindergarten and middle school years out at Red Mesa, so I had nothing but Navajo teachers, and for the most part, they were very good at what they did, and they were pretty spot on with the way they taught.
Mhm.
And I did have a couple favorites growing up, and I still talk to some of them to this day. So that's kind of a nice thing. And
Yeah.
like high school, I spent my freshman to junior year at a different school. There, it was very diverse as well. I've had different races of teachers, and they've all been pretty nice to me as well. So for the most part, my teachers were pretty great. And spending my senior year back at Red Mesa, I actually really love the teachers for the most part, and Mr. J and Mr. Christian, and yeah, the um, Filipino teachers, they really brought, like Carl was saying, that they brought a lot of character into the school, and yeah, it was just a new and fun thing to have, and I personally like love the Filipino teachers, and like yeah, I just love to be around them. They were cool. But yeah.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you so much for that. And let's go to Kyle. I'm sure Kyle has something to share too about, his teachers.
Yeah, I've been going to Red Mesa for a good majority of my life, and I've had my fair share of diverse teachers as well. And what I noticed is that in Red Mesa, when I was going up the grades, I've not like some teachers were strict, some were pretty calm and lean about it. And my freshman year of high school, we went in, and the teachers were pretty nice, but there's just something missing, like that, like some I don't know what it is, but it's just like a lively type of mood, like in most of the classes. And when Mr. J and the rest of the Filipino teachers came in, it was a good change. At first, we didn't know what to expect. We're kind of how do I say it? We didn't know what to expect. We thought there would be strict teachers like like or they'd be pretty lean back, but turns out they're really cool teachers. And yeah, they brought up a lot more life. They brighten up the room whenever we walk in there. They always bring up conversations, and the subjects they teach, they're really informative about it as well.
Thank you so much, Kyle. Yeah. Um, oh, we have another Filipino student joining us today. Her Shane. Um, she is one of my students back there in the Philippines too. She just woke up basically because it's 6 a.m. there in the Philippines. Good morning, Shane. Shane, good morning. Can you hear us? Can you hear me? Shane, can you hear me? Your audio, you can check your audio, your microphone, so you can hear us, and we can also hear you. Okay, so let's continue. Well, anyway, thank you so much for those appreciation that you this especially you guys, American kids, because just to tell you, I am really new to this kind of setup. I used what I'm used to in the Philippines is that my kids, because we're Filipinos, we're the same. We have the same culture, so I can easily get along with them. But let me share this to you guys, Mary, Shane, and Rodell. Let me share to you how these kids are acting up here in America. Um, well, anyway, when they told me that I'll be teaching in America, what we are expecting is that we are expecting the worst kids, because Americans are like they're loud, they're out, they're like they're you know they're those kind of students. I don't want to mention any more adjectives, but yeah, those are the expectations that I have in my mind once before coming here. So the first, I would like to share this to you. The first day, of course, I don't know what to like how to deal with them on the first day. Of course, that's the first time that I'll be seeing. I had seen them. So what happened was that I have these few kids who already approached me and just started talking to me. This is in the first week, and one of those kids who approached me was Carl Bigman, that guy right there, that big man right there. You can see that. So yeah, he's one of the first students who approached me and just try to talk to me and try to ask me questions. Well, anyway, that kind of made me feel comfortable that oh, okay, there are kids like this in America, because I was expecting these kids are like they won't talk to teachers, or they don't care about their teachers, or but these four kids, I'm telling you guys, you there in the Philippines, Rodell, Mary, and Shane, I'm telling you, these four kids that I have here in Zoom right now, these are few um few students who some of the few students that I can really say that they're more like having Filipino um attitude, like they get along with me. They share, they talk, and I can trust them with saying things. Especially Siobhan. You know what? Siobhan is like during lunchtime, and Kyle too. They were like in there in my classroom. Even Carl would steal my food. I'm sorry for revealing that, Carl. Well, anyway, yeah. Yeah, that's what I like with these kids. You know what? Mary and Shane and Rodell, these four kids that I have chosen here are I can really say that these kids left a mark in my heart. Like I cannot forget them. I cannot forget them because um, I find I mean, it's hard to find your worth and value as a teacher in a foreign land wherein you have to deal with, different culture, different nationalities. But these kids have let me feel my worth as a teacher, just like what you did, guys, in the Philippines. I know. Just to tell you also, Tony, Kyle, Siobhan, and Carl, these three kids here, Rodell, Mary, and Shane, these are just some of the kids. Actually, there are so many of them in the Philippines that are so close to my heart, like close to me, that they have to like they even call me daddy. They even call me brother. They even call me, those endearments, like just to show how close we are aside from a teacher. But it's not like after teaching them, our connection stops there in the classroom. No, outside the classroom, we still have this kind of connection that we share together. We go to different, activities. We bond. We go to beaches. We go to a lot of gatherings. We eat together. That's how we do things in the Philippines. Um, I cannot speak for all the teachers in the Philippines, but I'm speaking for myself. I'm speaking for myself and how my experience went there in the Philippines when I was still there. And these Filipino kids are really, once you connected to them, once you let them feel that they're important to you, they will stick to you no matter what. Just like now, I mean, these kids are they just graduated, just like Tony. They just graduated senior high school. Shane and Mary. Rodell is already a college student. Um, He's studying Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education, major in English. So that's why he's good at English. So yes, this these kids, even though I have them when they were grade 10. So you know, but that doesn't mean that our connection stops there when they were grade 10, because when they were in grade 11, grade 12, and even college students, I mean, we are still in connection with each other. Like we are still chatting, we are still asking how you guys doing, like checking on each other. So that's pretty much how I am dealing with my kids in the Philippines. And I'm really hoping to bring that here in Red Mesa, because I know in Red Mesa, I mean in America, it's kind of like a different setup for kids and for teachers. But what I appreciate the most here is that, especially you guys, Tony, Carl, Siobhan, Kyle, like we are out of school for how many months now. Especially after that spring break, we thought that we can get back to school and just have our regular classes, but we did not. So what happened was that I was in contact with you guys. I texted, we texted, we check on each other. And that's what I appreciate the most, because I thought that I could not bring that spirit, that kind of setup in the Philippines, but I was able to. Well, not to all students here in Red Mesa, but at least to some of you guys, like the four of you. So, because what for me, my philosophy in teaching is that it doesn't matter if you know the numbers of students that you get along with, that you some kind of touch lives. But for me, you can just bring one change to one kid, and you're good. I mean, you didn't want to like make an impact to everyone you met, but just making an impact to at least one or two. I believe that's what matters, because for me as teacher, that's our motto, is we have to make an impact, we have to change lives, we have to transform lives, we have to at least leave a mark on each of these kids, this student. And I'm hoping that 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 setup, that kind of value will go through in my stay here in America. I know this is not forever. This is just temporary, but also I'm really hoping that I can stay here for long, or even, for an indefinite time here in Red Mesa. But of course, I'm just making most of my time as a teacher here in Red Mesa, and I'm just so excited to see again my kids in Red Mesa for the opening. I hope we can do that as soon as we can. But yeah, so basically I'm just sharing to you guys there in the Philippines how am I here. And if you ask me how am I doing here in Red Mesa in Arizona, I am totally okay. I'm doing good. I'm doing great. I'm having a good time with how the things are going on here. I pretty much adjusted, but it's just that I guess the thing that I still did not adjust is the weather here, because I have my lips cracked. I can't smile like really wide because it is painful to stretch my lips. It's so, yeah, it's cracking in here if you can see that. But well, anyway, apart from the weather, everything is good here. So now let's move on to yeah, we're done with teachers, we're done with the setup here and there in the Philippines. Now I want you to share, each one of you, I will give you just maybe just less than a minute to share as a one single Filipino or a Navajo culture that you would like the world to know. Like, what is it, one part of your culture that you want the world to know? Because I mean, you guys, I mean, you have to talk to each other. You can talk to Mary, you can talk to Shane, you can talk to Rodell, any one of you. And Shane, Rodell, and Shane, I mean, Mary can also talk to Carl, Kyle, wherever. You can ask questions to them. So I will give you time, one by one. And I will give you just maybe a minute just to make sure. And we are already 38 minutes, but of course we started late. So that's why we have this. So who will start first? Raise your hand for volunteer. Who will share a just one part of your um, Filipino culture or Navajo culture, and then you can ask also question from the Filipinos or from the Navajos. All right. So who will do the first? Who will volunteer first? So we can. Okay, Carl or Kyle? Kyle, you want to do it, Kyle or Carl?
I'll go.
All right, Kyle, do it.
One thing I know about Navajo culture is that if like there's things there, we have our own bad stuff here, like taboo type of things, like evil spirits and stuff like that. And whenever we have people here who are trained or who know how to get rid of those things, we call those people, we call them medicine man. And if there's something like an evil spirit that's bothering you and your family, and you would know that by, I don't know, like negative events happening after one another, and if that keeps occurring, then you know you have an evil spirit attached to you or haunting your family or something like that. And you get a medicine man, which is, I don't know what it is for you guys over there if you guys have one of those like that gets rid of evil spirits, but they would come to your house. The medicine man would come to your house and they bless you and bless the house and ward off the evil spirits away so that they don't affect your family.
Thank you, Kyle, for that sharing. By the way, guys, Shane, Rodell, and Mary, if you don't know, just to like give you an idea of what Kyle is sharing. The medicine man that he's trying to share to you is like the albulario in the Philippines. Yeah, the like the herbal medicine man, like it's like a doctor, who cures. All right. So thank you, Kyle. Anyway, Kyle, do you have a question for any of them? Like you want to know, like, you know?
Um,
All right, Shane, I can hear you now,
no,
Shane.
I don't.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Oh no, I said I don't have a question yet. I'm still trying to think of a question.
So you don't have a question?
Not right now. So
Not right
yeah.
now. Okay. All right. And here we go. Let's go to Mary. Mary, can you share something? What is it in a part of Filipino culture that you want them to know, these American kids to know? And you can also ask them, each one of them, or just select one of them.
So I just wanna I just want to know you guys that Filipino are not just um good, but they are also strong and brave. As what I've said earlier, I am I am also really proud that Filipino are very brave. They are very strong to face every circumstances that they face. That's all.
Strong.
That's what I'm really
Strong. Yeah, we have a lot of warriors in the Philippines back there in our history who fought
proud.
for the freedom, for our liberty from Spanish, from Japanese, from Americans who tried to, how do you call that, to enslave the Filipinos. But yeah, I know what Mary is saying. Thank you, Mary. Do you have a question, Mary, that you want to know about the Navajo culture?
No, I don't have questions, sir, but I have something to say to them, to tell to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tony, Kyle, Carl, Bigman, and Chibone, thank you for taking good care of our Mr. J.
Oh.
Beautiful heart, not just in your heart, but inside out. Thank you, guys. I love you all.
Thank you, Mary. That was so touching. I was like, I'm about to cry now. So let me unmute you all so we can talk to each other. So let's have um we'll go. Siobhan, yes.
I think something from our culture that I really would like to share with everyone else is our stories. Like, we have a lot of stories, but I feel like all of them are very entertaining and they all teach a lesson some way or another. I think it's really cool. I think a lot of the lessons that the stories teach are things other people need to learn, but they don't know it.
Thank you, Siobhan. Do you want to ask something? Do you want to know something about the Filipinos? I mean, yeah, you can ask each one of them. I mean, just one of them.
I don't have a question right now.
You don't have a question yet. Huh?
Sorry, I'm kind of nervous.
Oh, okay. I understand that, but it's okay. Okay. How about Tony?
Mine was similar to Vaughn's, like the stories and stuff, because they do have lessons in them. I used to like watch when we were kids, and they're just really entertaining. Mine was
Mm-hmm.
basically what she wanted.
Okay. Alrighty. Thanks, Tony. How about Rodel? What do you want to know? A part of our culture that you want them to know, these American kids to know, and yeah.
Um, Maybe one thing, Filipino are known for being hospitable. I just want you to know that we have 7,641 islands here in the Philippines, and you can find Filipinos very hospitable in anywhere in that Philippine islands. And um, aside from the people itself, the culture also here in the Philippines are kind of unique for the reason that aside from those 7,641 islands, we have also a lot of tribes which rich in cultures, and we are also rich in festivals which showcase our cultures. So if you have time to search or watch our videos in YouTube, or even go here in the Philippines, if you have um, opportunity to travel here in the Philippines, you can really explore the Philippines on its best because it's more fun in the Philippines. And I hope you can experience, and I hope also that I can experience your culture. It's very interesting that you have this kind of legends, you have this kind of cultures in your place, based on what I heard earlier on the sharing, and I am very thrilled to know more about it. And um, one thing that I really want to know is that how I have a question already, ha.
Go
Okay,
ahead. Cool.
what kind of aspect your culture, your specific culture you belong in right now, what kind of you can say kind of the highest treasure that you can treasure the whole journey that you can go within your life, what kind of aspect is that? It kind of attitude, character, behavior, practices, yeah, something like that.
Like the part of their culture that they value the most. Is that what you
Yes.
said?
uh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Who would like to answer that question from my American kid? Yeah,
It's a
Carl. All right, Carl.
You said you wanted. Yeah. Am I unmuted?
Yeah, you
Okay.
are
Can you guys
unmuted.
hear me fine? All right. So, uh, he said he wanted to know more about our culture. Um, and the other question was, what do we like want to follow, or what do we believe in?
Yeah, I mean like the thing that you value the most. That's what
Yeah.
it's asking.
Yeah. So the way our culture works is that there's it's everything revolves around the division of sexes. Okay. So you have male and female, and everything is about nature and everything that's around us. Something's got to be male or female. Either it's bodies of water, you know what I mean? And the way we identify ourselves is through uh, teachings that were passed down to us from our elders. There's a lot of stories, as everyone said, and these stories are based around deities. They're called deities, and they're these people who set. They're kind of like role models for us. Um, one of the main stories is the Shell Woman. Um, I have a book. It's called Under the Eagle, and it's about Samuel Holiday, who is a Navajo code talker. And the Navajo code talker in World War II, we used our language as a barrier to where no one understood our language in the war, and we communicated through our language, and that's how kind of a way we had an upper hand in communication. And in this book, it talks about how Samuel Holiday, he talks about the way he involves our culture with the war, being that the stories that are told to us. One of the stories is a white shell woman, and her name is in our language it's Atzan Nadlehe, and that's her name. And she's referred to as White Shell Woman, and this is a role model for all the Native American, or not Native American, I mean the Navajo women. They would want to be like her because she sets standards from birth to death in how a woman should act, and she has tools that she used in her life, which was a grinding stone, stirring stick, and a fire poker, and a hairbrush. And these are all implements that were used in the Navajo home. And this story of her is just a role model set for all the women. And uh, when a girl becomes a woman, there's a traditional ceremony called a kenada. That's when they go through all the steps in becoming a woman, how you should be. That's why we have a kenada, because that's where a woman proves herself as a woman. And that's why we have our ceremonies, because it's based on that shell woman. You got to prove yourself as that woman for a week, and you go on runs early in the morning, and you run towards the east. And you come back, and there's a medicine man there, and you pray, and that's how that kenata is done. And by the end of it, the woman is shown as her as a woman. And for the males, it's the twin brothers. They're the role model set in the past life as warriors. There's twins. There's a story about two twins. They set off on a journey on a supernatural aid, meaning they have powers. These two men had powers, meaning they were medicine men. I believe that I see them as medicine men. They had certain powers. It says supernatural aid allowed them to successfully destroy surrounding evil and to make the earth safe for humans. And that's the story we are told. And this is pretty much, these two stories are the foundation of our culture. And this is the role models that we set for ourselves and who we strive to be. And these are the deities that we believe in and want to be. It's more like we are taught how they were, and we are trying to be them. That's why that's what they are. The monster slayer and the child of water. Those are the two twins. They're the two twins. What else? And anyways, in this it talks about how Samuel Holiday uses these twins. They were war monsters, and he uses those stories and he compares them to his life and his war during the Navajo Code Talker, when he was a Navajo Code Talker in World War II. And that's pretty much our culture in a nutshell. It's just those stories, and that's who we want to be.
Yes,
And
Carl.
yeah.
I believe that's what Siobhan mentioned too, about stories that you believe in, that stories that you are enjoying to listen, and these are stories that are relayed to you from generation to generation. And I get what you're saying, that these stories inspired many of the Navajo today, especially you guys who are learning, who are also learning your own culture. And I believe we also have that kind of stories in the Philippines. We also believe we have folklores, we have myths, we have legends in the Philippines back there. um, and I believe that's kind of speak of the same thing also in in your culture, about those stories of deities and those monster slayer. And we have that too in the Philippines. And pretty much I believe there's no matter, I mean, although we are like really thousands and thousands of miles apart from each other, because we are there in the east and you're here in the west. But you know what, believe it or not, there are many things that connects us. And even the stories of those, I remember, I hope Tony can remember this. Did you remember that, Tony, when I shared to you about um the the
The aswang?
aswang in the
Yeah,
Philippines?
yeah.
Do you remember
We
that? Yeah.
yeah.
So I have shared it to them. Like, they were like, I showed them the video that I found in YouTube about these creatures. 10 of the most what do you call that, um gruesome, not gruesome, but fearsome creatures in the Philippines, like the aswang, the tikbalang, the half horse, half man. Yeah, and I've heard many stories also from them, like Carl, even Siobhan, or other Filipino, I mean American kids, who shared to me the same the same things that existed here. Yes, Carl, you're raising your hand.
Oh, oh, I was. Do you unmute me? Okay, cool. But I don't know. I told some of my personal stories of these like evil entities with Jay here. I talked about some of my Yanni stories. That's what we call. They're normally called Yena Gloshi, and that's that evil spirit that uh Kyle was talking about. And I've had my encounters with them, and I've shared them with Jay and some other students.
Yes. There's Carl shared to me his own experience about these creatures that he saw right in front of his own eyes, and I believe that would be. I know in the Philippines we also have these stories, but me myself, or I don't know, Mary, Rodell, Shane, do you have experience of those things that you really see something strange, but yeah, well, anyway, those are just some of the things that I can really say that we are connected in some ways. We believe in this. We have this you know believe that these things existed, something like that. So pretty much that's how we connect to each other. And what is the purpose of this? If I know, I would like to like talk to you um in a longer period of time, but I know we have a limited time, and I promise only actually 30 minutes, but I hope you can forgive me. We are already running 56 minutes since 4 o'clock in the afternoon here and 6 a.m. there in the Philippines. Yeah, we're almost an hour, like 3 minutes to go we're an hour. But what I'm gonna tell you guys, I really appreciate all of you, Rodell, Shane, and Mary. I know you have to get up early. It's so early in the Philippines. I know you're not used to waking up 6 a.m. because you're used to like wake up at 12. But thank you so much for spending. No, no, Rodell is used to waking up early because he has a lot of things to do. We got a job to do.
Work for you, you know that.
Yeah, Rodell is working for me. Just to tell you guys, Rodell is working for me as my editor for my vlogs. Something. He's been like that for how many? Even before when I was in the Philippines. So he's helping me in those things. It's kind of creative though. And yes, and also Siobhan, Tony, Carl, and Kyle. Let me unmute everyone so we can hear each other. And you want to say something? Yeah, Siobhan, Tony, Carl, and Kyle. Four of you. I really, 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 from the deepest part, from the deepest part of my heart, I would like to thank you for joining, accepting this invitation. I know this was a short notice, and I have made like maybe 3 changes just to get this schedule done. But I appreciate everyone, you guys, for granting my favor, and I'm totally good now. Um, I am so proud that I have made this meeting possible, because this is the Department of State in the USA needs. We have to set up a thing like this, that there should be an exchange of sharing of culture from my home country and from the place that I'm teaching here in America. So I guess that should be it for now. And do you want to add something, or would you like to say something to each one of you, or just like a message, final message? So let me start. I want to give you like a 30-second to just um, give a final message to everyone in this group. Any words of inspiration, words of thanks, anything that you can say about everyone.
Um, so, I was gonna go first. I would like to apologize about the noise of the chicken. If here in the Philippines, you will walk up like that, talaga. You will have that kind of noise. The Philippines.
I know.
I've been, I've been concealing myself, not laughing. That's very Filipino. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. J for inviting me, and I would like also to thank to all his students, Kyle, Carl, Tony, and Siobhan. Thank you so much for taking good care of our teacher, Mr. J. And I'm very thrilled of the things that you can do in the future. I know that you just graduated in your senior and I guess senior and fourth year, junior year, a year.
Only Tony and Siobhan graduated. Kyle is a sophomore, and
Uh,
he'll be a junior this next school year. And Carl is a junior, and he'll be senior next school year.
Congrats for that. I wish you for the best, and I hope we will see other again through reaching out by our social media accounts. And I would love to talk and share more about the Filipino cultures. Just reach me out, just ask Mr. J, and I would love to share the cultures, things that is matters here in the Philippines and our practices and our crazy things that we do a lot here in the Philippines. And I hope for you good health despite in this COVID-19. I hope you are safe there, and let's fight. Let's beat this COVID-19. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rodel. Appreciate that wonderful message from you. How about Shane? Let's go with Shane. Go ahead, Shane. I muted you now.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello, everyone.
I know you're
Hello.
shy. You can go. You can go
Yes.
ahead and get it
Thank you so
done.
much for sharing your time with Sir Jay, and I am very grateful to be one of this kind of what is called this um yes, thank you so much. That's
Okay, okay, Shane. Appreciate that short message. I know your heart is full, but you can just express it. I know you're lost for words, but appreciate that. I totally get your point. Yes, Mary. So let's start with the Filipinos.
First of all, thank you, Mr. J, for inviting me. Charot! Sabihin natin mga. Nice to meet you all, guys. I hope you understand me because my grammar is so ugly. I'm not really good at speaking in English. That's stay safe. That's all.
All
Nice
right.
to meet
Okay, thank you, Mary. Appreciate that too. And you know what, guys? Many of my kids in the Philippines are just like Mary. They're just bubbly. They're just you. They're just really, yeah. They're bubbly. They're fun to to get along with. Most of the kids are like that in the Philippines. They're open. Like they can you can get along with them easily. Like they're not shy. They're not. They're shy, but they're not. You know that? They're shy at first, but once you know them, once you get their names, oh my goodness, everything will just start in chaos. Like you will have a fun time with them. All right, thank you. Siobhan, let me have your message.
Thanks for inviting me to this as well. I feel like I haven't talked to anyone in a long time. Anyway, it was really nice to meet everyone. And I feel I've heard a lot about your other students, your Filipino students, so it was really nice to finally meet them. They're all really cool and lively. Had a lot of fun talking with you guys.
I
Let's
know.
see.
And just to let you know, Siobhan is a K-pop fan. Yeah, she loves K-pop, and I know Rodell, Mary, and Shane. I know you're K-pop fans too. You love K-pop, and you love Korean dramas. I know that, so you can. And Siobhan,
you.
you know what? Siobhan has Filipino friends on Twitter. Is that right? In social media, she
Yeah,
has
just
Filipino
on
friends.
social media.
And I know maybe just like yesterday or the other day that you already have a TikTok account, Siobhan. TikTok.
Mr. J, why would you tell everyone?
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Anyways, yeah, but I don't post anything. Just to watch
You just watch
videos.
videos. Okay, I understand that. Okay, thank you, Siobhan. Tony, let's go with you.
You scared me. Sorry. I just like to say thank you for inviting me to the call, and I am grateful that I got to meet a few of your students, and I am happy that I got to learn a little more about the Filipinos and stuff like that. Yeah, and I thank you for congratulating me and or Siobhan and I on graduating. And yeah, I hope we can be friends and reach out to each other as well. I think that would be really awesome. And that to just stay safe during this pandemic as well. And yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. And let's go with Carl.
Ooh.
Carl is like
Hi.
one of the coolest kids here.
You're funny. But they said everything that I wanted to say. But add me on Snapchat. It's Carl with the K, Carl.bigman. Just Carl.bigman. Bigman. And I think Instagram's the same, Carl.bigman. That's it. Cool.
All right, Carl. Thank you. Well, Carl has social media accounts. He has Facebook too, if you want to add him.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Carl. Kyle.
I want to say thank you for joining this call, and thank you, Mr. J, for having me here. And I want to say thank you for trusting us with Mr. J. And what else is there? Oh yeah, Mr. J has been talking a lot about you guys, saying how he wants us to meet, like how he wants me, Carl, Tony, and Siobhan to meet you guys, and he's been talking a lot of good stuff about you. And today we finally meet you. I'm very glad we did. It's nice to meet you guys.
Thank you so much, Kyle. And you know what? I'm telling you, they are just three of the many kids that I have in the Philippines. You know what? I have like maybe more than 500 of them already that has been with me since I was a teacher in a public school in the Philippines. But all right, that's it. And thank you so much. And Filipino kids, I would like to share to teach you how to say thank you in Navajo. And you will say it all together. I'll go ahead and mute you, Shane, Rodell, and Mary. And I'll go ahead and mute you. I'll teach you how to say thank you in Navajo. Can you hear me now, three of you? Okay, you say ahehe.
What?
What?
Ahehe.
Ahe? Ahe?
Okay.
Ahehe.
Okay.
I don't know if that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you spell it in the way how we spell, it's like ahehe, but you pronounce it ah ah ahehe.
It takes a lot of bread, you know that.
Oh no. Okay, and Navajo kids, American kids, I would like to share to you how to teach you how to say thank you in our dialect in the Philippines, our own dialect. You say salamat.
Alamak.
Salam.
Salamat po.
It's easier. Salamat po. That's more of
Salamat
Orchard's way
po.
of saying it. Salamat po.
Oh,
What?
Yeah.
Salamat po.
Salamat po.
Salamat.
salamat po.
Yay!
Salamat po.
Good job. Good job, Kyle, Tony, and Siobhan. And that's it. I wish to continue this for long, but I got another Zoom meeting for teachers now. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Bye
Ayaw.
Bye,
everyone.
Mr.
Thank you
J.
so much. Wait. Let me take a screenshot of everyone in the meeting. So I will be, this will be my proof. So you can post like wacky or whatever, and I'll do a screenshot. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, smile. All right, there you go. Thank you so much,
So,
everyone.
Okay. Bye, Mr.
no.
J. Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
Tony. Bye, Kyle. Bye, Carl.
Pinanabuda.
Bye,
Thank
Mr.
you,
J.
thank you,
Bye,
thank you,
everyone.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Kyle. Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Carl.
Bye Mary, bye Shane, bye Rodell.
Bye. Char namin siya na itong
All right,
pangalan
no one's
ngayon.
leaving, so I'm gonna be the first one to go.
Manok, ang manok.
Because I don't
Matulog namin.